Hi, so a little introduction before I start this video. I had this recorded early on in the day, but during the editing process I realized something. I wasn't wearing a shirt, and I got kind of self-conscious about that, so I'm re-recording this. So if it gets out late, it's because I look like a skeleton with a little bit of skin stretched over it. So, good morning / afternoon / evening, whenever you're watching this. I'm Brent and this is the Sunday of the Words with Slugs. Now, as you probably know, the word this week is story. I'm probably putting my hands in the wrong spot, but when I heard this word, I thought to myself, okay, I don't want to just tell a story, because I tell a lot of stories in these, in these videos. So that I want to talk about some stories that I like that I did not actually experience or make up. This episode is about my favorite stories in various forms of media. My first item on the list is my favorite story from a book. My favorite story from a book is the book Gone Girl. Now, I saw the movie before I read the book, so I kind of knew what I was in for when I was reading the book. But I'll tell you what, I don't read a whole lot, but I read Gone Girl and it just put my mind in fucking loops, man. I didn't understand what to make of it. You're halfway through the movie and it's so wonderfully twisty and turny. The next thing I'm going to talk about is my favorite story in a song. My favorite story in a song is the Jedi Mind Trick song Uncommon Valor, a Vietnam story. Basically, if you've never heard the song, a young soldier in Vietnam. The first verse is about a young soldier in Vietnam and how he feels guilty for being here, and all the destruction and havoc that, him and his troops are causing. But the real reason this is my favorite is because the second verse by guest rapper R.A. the Rugged Man. Second verse, he actually tells from the perspective of his father who was in the Vietnam War and about the other side of, the psychosis behind the soldiers is they like being there. They could do whatever they want. They were larger than life. I'll play you a clip of the song right now.
Call me Thorburn, John A. Staff Sergeant, marksman, skillin', killing, illin'. I'm able and willing, kill a village elephant, raping and pillage a village, illegitimate killers, U.S. military guerrillas. This ain't no real war, Vietnam shit, World War II, that's a war. This is just a military conflict.
And his entire verse is like that. After it talks about the products of the war coming home from it, and how psychologically damaging and physically damaging it would be in the future. So it's my favorite story just because it tells something that was real life, and the vividness and lyricism that R.A. the Rugged Man does during the verse is just, it blows me away completely. It's everything that a rapper should aspire to be like. My favorite story from a TV show, this is going to be kind of generic, but it's Breaking Bad. What isn't there to like about Breaking Bad? Let's be completely honest. If you don't like Breaking Bad, you're probably a person who just wants to be different. Like, oh, well, it didn't make sense. Or you're one of those idiots who's like all pissy about the ending. Well, to that, I'm gonna say fuck you. Okay? The ending's great. I'm sorry you don't want everything spelled out for you. Oh no, there's not enough closure. Who gives a shit? Decide what the ending is. That's artistic, okay? Next, I have my favorite story in a movie. Now, this is not my favorite movie, although it is one of my favorites. My favorite story in a movie is There Will Be Blood. Now, the reason it's my favorite is it touches on a lot of topics, and that were really relevant back in the times when the movie takes place, and also things today, like how religion can be used to, to push corporate greed, or how far one person can come just because they have money, and how invincible they think they are, I drink your milkshake. But it's a phenomenal story, and the writing for just storytelling is legendary. And it's one of those stories that characters don't do things to further the plot. The plot follows what the characters do. There's a distinct difference between the two. Walking Dead. My final media that I'm going to use to close out this video, my favorite story from a comic book series is Watchmen. Oh man, if you've not read Watchmen, you really should. I mean, it's a tough read if you're an idiot, but if you're a decently intelligent person like me, like I'm not the smartest guy out there, but I can get Watchmen. Alan Moore is probably the greatest comic book writer of all time. If you have not read any of his stuff, please check it out. Killing Joke, V for Vendetta, his run on the Swamp Thing is even good. Like, everything that he touches is great. Watchmen, basically a story about superheroes and how they're outlawed by the government, but they're still kind of working undercover. And I mean, the twists and the harsh reality of it is something that you do not see in comic books. So if you want to like thank dark storytelling for comic books, you think Alan Moore and you think Watchmen, because it's pretty much as real as it gets. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We will have the Google Hangout once again at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, but 7 p.m. Western Time. So yeah, please join us. It'll be fun. We'll be picking out the next word. Of course, check out the other Slugs videos from earlier this week. I still haven't came up with a catchphrase yet to end my video. I'm bad at endings.